Well, let's go to some international news. And today is 1 week on since the Ukrainian president made an impassioned plea for Bushmaster armoured vehicles made here in Bendigo, Victoria, and used by our Defence Force to be sent to Europe to help in his fight against the Russian army. Well, you ask, and the ADF delivers, it seems, if you're Vladimir Zelensky, and these Bushmasters have indeed started to arrive on the ground in Europe. Because of that, I wanted to speak with someone who knows why they are such a lifesaver. What makes them so sought after by soldiers around the world? And who better to do that than a man who's used them before in several missions in Afghanistan, former SAS Troop Commander, now Assistant Minister for Defence Andrew Hastie, who joins me now from Perth. Okay, Minister, take your ministerial hat on and put your old troop, g'day Andrew, put your Troop Master hat on, Troop Commander hat on. What made the Bushmaster so special?
Well, good evening to you, Peter, and your viewers. The Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicle is an 11-tonne 4x4 vehicle. It can take a 4-tonne payload, and it's the first vehicle that's been designed and built entirely in Australia since the Second World War. So it's something we can be very proud of and the work done in Bendigo. Put very simply, it's a vehicle that can take a blast. It's got a V-shaped hull, which means that a mine or an IED that goes off, the blast will be deflected out of the vehicle away from the troops inside. It can take 10 troops. It's got armour that can take 5.56, 7.62 rounds. It can protect them from mortars and artillery bursts as well. So in terms of a vehicle that you want on the battlefield, it's a vehicle that can move infantry from point to point in a very protected way. And it's also a vehicle you can command out of. It's a pretty simple vehicle as well. They only cost, I think, about $500,000 to build. And they've got run flats, so if you get flat tyres, the vehicle will keep running for a period of time. It can drive up to 100 k's an hour. So you can understand why President Zelensky, when he made his historic speech last week, asked for them. The Netherlands have used them, the Brits have used them, the Japs have used them, the New Zealanders have used them, Jamaicans have used them, the Fijians have used them. They're a very popular vehicle.
We just showed some images there. They are your photographs from about 2009, I think they are, of a Bushmaster vehicle that your troops were in and using. It was hit and there were no casualties, am I right? That's
100% right, Peter. In 2009, we used the Bushmaster for the whole period of my deployment, which was 6 months. We sustained 3 hits from IEDs. All 3 of those vehicles were what we call mobility kills. They were unable to be used from that point on. The vehicle that was shown, that was August 2009, a massive blast that blew part of the windscreen out, and all my soldiers were able to get out of the vehicle, mount up into another vehicle and crack on. So it's a lifesaver, and no wonder the Ukrainians have asked for it.
Just quickly, I want to go on to the Cadets announcement you made today, but we're all watching what's unfolding in Ukraine. It's getting worse in terms of civilians. We're not talking about collateral damage, civilians killed by bombs. We're seeing civilians targeted. It's murderous. They're assassination-like attempts on life. We talk about war crimes, but that'll all be dealt with down the track. What more can we do now to bring an end to Putin's reign and save lives?
The most important thing right now, of course, is to continue on with the sanctions. We've sanctioned 500 Russian individuals, 67 more today. We've provided $65 million worth of humanitarian aid, $115 million of lethal aid, these Bushmasters. But from the context of the NATO and the other democracies involved in supporting Ukraine, we need to make this exceptionally costly on the battlefield for Vladimir Putin. The way we do that is by providing military support, anti-tank weapons, all those critical things the Ukrainians need to defend themselves and impose delay, disruption, and ultimately defeat on Vladimir Putin and his murderous army.
Hey, I know you're a big fan of cadets. There's been an announcement today to enhance the ADF Cadets program. Tell us why it's such a good thing.
It's a wonderful opportunity for young Australians who want to serve their country to have an opportunity to take risks, to lead others, to serve their community and to grow as a person. And so cadets is a great way to grow leaders, and we need leaders, Peter. The world is crying out for leaders, particularly here in Australia, and we want them to join the ADF. Even if they don't, they'll serve the Australian community elsewhere. The new patron, which we've announced today, General Sir Peta Cosgrove. He started in cadets. He ended up going to Duntroon, having a long distinguished career in the ADF, culminating as the CDF and as our Governor-General. And it's great to have him on board. And we're going to grow the Defence, the cadet program, the Defence Cadet program. It's about 28,300 now. The next year, we're going to increase it by 10%, and we're pumping $1 billion over the next 10 years into cadet and reserve infrastructure so they have the facilities required to get on with the job.
Nice to get some positive news, Andrew Hastie. Thank you for your time, Minister. Good luck in the campaign.